Queen Elizabeth II's eldest son might seem like he has it all together now, but that wasn't always the case. From his lonely upbringing to his bachelor days, fatherhood, and beyond, here's a look at how Prince Charles has transformed over the years. From the moment he was born, Prince Charles's future was set. As the eldest child of the heir to the throne of England, Charles was born into a world of immense privilege and responsibility. His birth was met with great excitement. Royal biographer Sally Bedell Smith revealed that mere hours after his birth, courtiers crowded to see the new heir. Smith also wrote in her book, Prince Charles, The Passions and Paradoxes of an Improbable Life, that the young prince's upbringing was a lonely one. His parents led busy lives, and Prince Charles would go long stretches of time without seeing them. Prince Charles would later recall that his mother was distant, while friends of the royal described his relationship with his father as strained due to Prince Philip's alleged bullying treatment of his firstborn. While Prince Charles received little affection from his parents, he did have a close relationship with his maternal grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. Smith quoted Prince Charles as saying, "My grandmother was the person who taught me to look at things." Adding to Prince Charles's often unhappy childhood was the fact that he was frequently ill. Biographer Sally Bedell Smith noted in Prince Charles, The Passions and Paradoxes of an Improbable Life, that he underwent a tonsillectomy as a child, was susceptible to sinus infections, and also contracted flu and measles all before the age of 12. Making Prince Charles's poor health more difficult was the fact that being ill sometimes left him more alone than ever. Smith wrote that when Prince Charles contracted flu, his parents didn't even visit their bedridden child, in spite of having been vaccinated against the virus. Prince Charles also went through his bout with measles without his parents by his side, as they were in India at the time. Lady Anne Glenconner, who was the lady-in-waiting to Queen Elizabeth's sister, Princess Margaret, wrote in her book Lady-in-Waiting, My Extraordinary Life in the Shadow of the Crown, that Prince Charles was often sent to her family home while ill. Glenconner revealed, "He would come and stay whenever he had any of the contagious childhood diseases like chickenpox, because the Queen, having never been to school, had not been exposed to them." Going off to boarding school should have been an excellent opportunity for Prince Charles to escape his lonely home life and play with kids his own age. Instead, he found himself even more isolated, as he was not popular with his peers, something which was documented in Netflix's The Crown. Sally Bedell Smith wrote in her book that the 8-year-old prince had a difficult time adjusting to being away from home. He was frequently homesick, clinging to a teddy bear for comfort. Additionally, Prince Charles's schoolmates reportedly teased him for his ears and for being overweight, and he was also subjected to corporal punishment from school staff. As a teenager, Prince Charles attended Gordonston, a boarding school in Scotland. While his grandmother wanted him sent to Eton College, which was much closer to home, Smith revealed that Prince Philip insisted on sending his son to his alma mater. Students at the school lived in harsh conditions, as the school believed sleeping in cold dorms would instill discipline. Additionally, Smith revealed that Prince Charles was still bullied at Gordonston, but he also came into his own after discovering a passion for the arts. Prince Charles was a mediocre student, but found solace in pottery and music, falling in love with the cello. Prince Charles also performed in plays at school, notably appearing in Shakespeare's Henry V, as well as playing the titular role in Macbeth. Prince Charles graduated from Gordonston in 1967. His time at the school included a year as an exchange student in Australia. While there's certainly nothing unusual about a man from a privileged background getting a university education, heading to Cambridge University after Gordonston was an unusual move for Prince Charles. As the heir to the throne, he already had a career path set out for him, but the royals still wanted to continue his studies. Prince Charles initially studied archaeology and anthropology before switching to history. Prince Charles continued to be involved in theater during his time at Cambridge and was a member of the Dryden Society, a drama organization. The Prince of Wales also spent a term studying Welsh as an exchange student at the University College Aberystwyth in Wales. Prince Charles graduated from Cambridge in 1970, becoming the first heir to the British throne to earn a university degree. Prince Charles has long been known for his commitment to the environment, but what many don't realize is that he has been championing this cause since his 20s. Per the BBC, the term global warming entered the public consciousness in 1975, although the effects of pollution on the planet were known before that. Prince Charles gave his first speech on how humans were harming the planet in 1970, the same year he graduated from Cambridge. He explained at the Countryside Steering Committee for Wales, "When you think that each person produces roughly 2 pounds of of rubbish per day, and there are 55 million of us on this island using non-returnable bottles and indestructible plastic containers, it is not difficult to imagine the mountains of refuse that we shall have to deal with. While his words were controversial at the time, Prince Charles remained true to his convictions and would eventually become globally recognized for his stance on the environment. After graduating from university, Prince Charles followed in the footsteps of many royals before him and entered the military. He chose to join the Navy, as had 3 generations of his family before him. Prince Charles had already been trained as a jet pilot before entering military service and became a helicopter pilot as well in 1974. Prince Charles ended his time in the military in 1976 using his severance pay to set up a charity for underprivileged youth. The organization is still running, and per its website, Prince's Trust offers hundreds of free courses, grants, and mentoring opportunities to inspire young people to build their confidence and start a career. Per biography, Prince Charles returned to the military in the 90s after going through parachute training, eventually becoming Air Chief Marshal in the Royal Air Force. Prince Charles's most high-profile relationships have been with his first wife, Princess Diana, and his second wife, Camilla Parker Bowles. However, those who followed the press in the 60s and 70s will remember that the royal also dated a number of high-profile women, choosing his girlfriends from the ranks of heiresses and it girls. Per the Evening Standard, Prince Charles was involved with more than 20 women over the years, many of whom were celebrities, heiresses, and members of the aristocracy. After the end of their relationship, Prince Charles met Camilla Shand, but they broke up before he entered the Navy. Shand ended up marrying Andrew Parker Bowles not long after, leaving Prince Charles devastated. A long string of relationships followed. Among the many women Prince Charles courted were Lady Jane Wellesley, Princess Diana's sister, Lady Sarah Spencer, and socialite and heiress Sabrina Guinness. Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer first met in 1977. The prince began courting Diana in 1980 after they reconnected at a party. The courtship was a whirlwind, and they are believed to have seen each other just 13 times before Prince Charles proposed. While such a brief courtship might suggest that Prince Charles was smitten with Diana and couldn't wait to marry her, the reality is a bit more complicated. Andrew Morton wrote in his book Diana, Her True Story in Her Own Words that Diana was particularly hurt during an interview in which they announced their engagement to the public. As Diana recalled to Morton, "And this ridiculous reporter said, 'Are you in love?' I thought, what a thick question. So I said, 'Yes, of course we are.' And Charles turned round and said, 'Whatever love means.' It traumatized me."
Whatever in love means.
Meanwhile, royal biographer Ingrid Seward, author of Prince Philip Revealed, A Man of His Century, told Us Weekly that it was reportedly Prince Philip who suggested Prince Charles marry Diana. He told some of his friends that he felt pressurized into marrying Diana because Philip said, "You've either got to marry her or let her go." The two married in 1981, and as the public well knows, their marriage was not a happy one. Perhaps in part because of the lack of parental warmth and affection he received during his own childhood, Prince Charles reportedly did not immediately adjust to fatherhood. In Prince William and Prince Harry's early years, Prince Charles was apparently not much of a doting parent. Royal biographer Penny Junor wrote in Prince William, The Man Who Will Be King that Prince Charles could also be impatient with his children, reportedly once telling a 4-year-old William to shut up when he cried that he was cold. According to Junor's account, Prince Charles reasoned that his young son's discomfort was his own fault, as he had failed to put on gloves as he had been told. Like his own parents, Prince Charles was often absent. One incident that highlights this occurred in 1991 when Prince William had to undergo emergency surgery after sustaining a skull fracture. The Associated Press reported at the time that while Princess Diana stayed by her son's side through the night, Prince Charles left him to attend the opera. The relationship between Prince Charles and Princess Diana seemed doomed from the start. Not only did they barely know each other when they got married, but Princess Diana was also just a teenager when they started dating, while Prince Charles was in his 30s. There's also the fact that Prince Charles never really got over Camilla Parker Bowles. Princess Diana famously blamed her husband's former flame for coming between them in a 1995 interview for the BBC when she said,
"Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded."
Prince Charles had publicly admitted to infidelity the previous year in a TV documentary, although he claimed he only cheated when his marriage was beyond repair.
Until it became irretrievably broken down.
The rocky relationship between Prince Charles and Princess Diana sparked a media frenzy, and the pair finalized their divorce in 1996, a year prior to her death. Prince Charles and Princess Diana were divorced at the time of her death in 1997, but the shock of losing someone close to him reportedly still had a huge impact on Prince Charles. For one, it fell to Prince Charles to break the news of the tragedy to his children. Additionally, Prince Charles did his best to protect his sons from the press. As Prince Harry recalled in the documentary Diana: 7 Days, he was going through the same grieving process as well. The tragic death of Princess Diana left Prince Charles as the sole parent to Prince Harry and Prince William, a task that was not always easy. After all the ups and downs of their relationship, Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles finally got their happily ever after in 2005, more than 3 decades after they first fell for each other. The marriage also marked an end to a tumultuous period heavily marked by scandal in the royal's life. While Camilla was not initially popular with the public due to the affair she and Prince Charles had during his marriage to Princess Diana, people have grown more accepting of her over the years. Plus, Prince Charles's second marriage seems to have been much happier than his first. He told CNN in 2015, "It's always marvelous to have somebody who, you feel understands and wants to encourage. Although she certainly pokes fun if I get too serious about things, and all that helps." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about the royal family are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.